Eccoci qua, bentornati sul canale dei ciafri del Tubo, siamo di nuovo con Vampyr, ricominciamo la nostra avventura, ci eravamo lasciati qui dentro al rifugio, quindi l'abbiamo lasciato e incominciamo ad andare. Allora, io direi rapido sguardo, qui erano troppo alti con il livello, se non mi ricordo male, quindi io direi andiamo dritti verso la missione principale e vediamo quello che succede. Quindi, di là. Io intanto prima di uscire dal rifugio mi sono fatto qualche medicina, credo per la stanchezza e qualcos'altro, ma al momento non le includiamo solamente, non le usiamo, vedremo più in là. Allora, andiamo.
What? What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Ok, quindi lo dobbiamo spiare. Da dove? Da qua? Esatto, ammazza, oh.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Poeti erranti.
No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the
Okay.
church they just mentioned.
Allora, fammi vedere una cosa. Qua. E qua. Ok. No, aspettate che mi dà fastidio quel segno lì. Come faccio a levarlo? Mi sa che è questo? Ok, a posto. Allora, strada. No, scusate, ho sbagliato lo spruzzante. Com'era lo zoom? Così. Quindi, dobbiamo andare di qua. Qui è dove stavamo con rifugio e tutte le strade portano di là, ok. Qui c'era il ponte, questo era il cancello che era chiuso. Ok, andiamo. Anche qui è chiuso. Intanto, come al solito, ci facciamo gli affari nostri e andiamo a controllare un po' dappertutto. Qui stiamo andando... Ah no, 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 qua stiamo andando a fare proprio fuori però. No, qui sicuramente ci vedremo dopo. Devi stare tranquillo. Allora, quindi no, andiamo di qua. C'è qualcuno, attenzione. Forse qualcuno di non amichevole, infatti. Attenzione, livello 12. Poi tanto andiamo a fare il giretto di perlustrazione. Qui passa, esatto. Oh, e te? Cacci tua. No. Ah sì, ho fatto pure un altro cambiamento perché mi sono accorto che non abbiamo niente da lontano se non il potere, quello che facciamo solito. Quindi ho fatto anche un altro set di armi in modo... Ammazza che botta che ci ho dato. Aspettate, no, fatemi ammazzare questo. È buono là. Oh, ammazza che stecca che mi ha dato. Niente, oh. Stavo dicendo, ho cambiato set, nel senso così almeno ci abbiamo equipaggiato quando serve anche un'arma da lontano. Tacci tua, ma se stavo girato, ma come cavolo hai fatto? Aspetta, curiamoci che qua sennò. Ok. Mi devo un attimo riprendere con i comandi. A posto. Eccoci. Ecco qua. No. Ah, ok. Io pensavo che... Ok, sì, a posto, vedete. A posto, ci abbiamo tutte e due. Pensavo che invece cambiamo tutto quanto. Non mi ricordo... Questo vuol dire che non mi ricordo quasi niente. Ok. Allora, questo quindi è una zona chiusa. C'era solo la sorpresa. Non mi sembra di vedere altro. Quindi andiamo. Ma dove siamo qua? Ah, a posto, sì, infatti, è proprio chiuso qua. Beh, io direi a questo punto famo questa zona. Ok. Vabbè. Che fai, oh? Oh. Strilli. Vai, puoi anche morire, eh. A posto. Ce ne stava un altro. Eccolo là. Niente. A posto. Allora, qui è tutto chiuso. Qui c'è un altro. Attenzione. Ok. No. No, ma cavolo, stavo a vedere quell'altro. Allora dillo. A posto. Allora. Ok, lì si entra. Bestia ancora. Qui c'è una porta. A posto, dico, chiusa. Allora io passerei prima per di qua. Ok. Ah, qui c'è qualcuno. Ah sì, ok. Sì, sì, tranquillo. Ecco, per esempio adesso. Ecco. Guarda quei bastardi. Mamma mia che paura di quello che fai, Ma che c'ha quello? A posto. Ok, andiamo a vedere dentro. Anzi no, fuori dove stavano questi. Ah, e stiamo dall'altra parte, ok. Cioè dall'altra parte da dove stavamo. Esatto, noi stiamo da quest'altra parte qua, che era chiuso. Eccolo. Famo fuori pure questo. Come ha visto? Attenzione! È buono. Ah, catrota che pezza che mi ha dato. Che c'è? Tacci tua, oh, ma come cavolo fai? Ma se sto lontano. Piano? Liscio? Attenzione, gli è partita la brocca. No, l'ho calcolato male le distanze. E mori? Perfetto. Allora. Che stavi custodendo qua dentro? Cosa c'è? Vabbè, il cadavere temporaccio qua. Lì è da dove potevamo entrare. Tutto qua? Sì. Così pare. Cos'è? L'accetta. Ok. No, fammi vedere se è meglio di questa di Clay. No. No. Ci teniamo questa. Ah, noi potevamo entrare da qua. Sì. Cioè, non c'è niente proprio. A parte una valigia. No? Ah, e qui... ok, stiamo dall'altra parte. Ok, a posto. Quindi possiamo uscire benissimo da qua. E passare da qua. Ah, ok, pensavo c'era qualcosa o qualcuno. Questi sono cristiani però. Eh sì, ok, oh, finalmente la popolazione. Ok. Chi è sta gente?
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Ecco, vai così.
As a
Il
merchant,
pizzo.
you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I
Quindi una
ran
missione
like hell.
secondaria.
Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Ok. Qui non potevo fare niente. Sto cercando l'infermiera Dorothy. Alla fine potremmo chiederglielo,
Have
vabbè.
you heard of a nurse called
Ah,
Dorothy
l'abbiamo
Gray?
già trovata però.
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then. Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Certo, diamo la colpa agli immigrati. Sto solo cercando di aiutare. Sto solo cercando
So
di
she's
aiutare.
trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu, something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Allora,
Right then.
vediamo
Show
quello
me
che
what you
vendi.
have.
E sta roba, frammento d'alluminio, può essere usato come metallo d'apporto nel processo di saldatura. Ah, per modificare. E no, io voglio quelli non tanto per modificare le armi, ma per creare i medicinali. Quindi questo, però non mi dice quanti ce n'ho. E questi, mi sa. Credo. Vabbè, facciamo così. A parte che, beh, non è che se ne volevo comprare più di tanto, però. Questo blu che è? Sempre per modificare. Fornitura normale, l'oppio. Famo così, tanto c'avevamo 58. No, niente. Ci vediamo dopo. Allora, il tipo che tu stavi parlando con questo stavi a parlare. Chi sei?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist. I'm a
Tutti
doctor.
quanti tranquilli qua, eh? Mazza, oh.
It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your
Colosso
service, sir.
giù. Ma chi sei?
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Paura, ragazzi.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
La gang del porto?
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Ok. Allora, domande personali sono queste qua. Qui abbiamo fatto tutto quanto. Non te lo chiedo
Goodbye,
questa,
Mr.
quella. Anche perché noi lo dobbiamo chiedere a Richard e a Clayton. Clayton... no. Sembrava un nome familiare. E cosa per entrare? Ah, boh, che taglio.
Hello, young man.
Salve.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Casa di Peterson. Pare brutto che mi ha fatto entrare, noi gli rubiamo le cose, però.
Even my dreams are
Se
soaked
te levi un
with
attimo
glue.
da... oh, grazie. Scusa, prima di svaliggio casa, poi dopo parliamo. Mhm. Sopra. Tranquillo, vado un attimo al bagno.
It's locked.
It's locked. Comunque ne ho trovati più di uno dei bauli chiusi a chiave. Non è forse poi trovi un passepartout, una chiave che apre tutto, boh. Ok, tanto sto a trovare lettere su lettere. Allora, niente. Allora.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Vabbè, manca a far così, oh.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just
Nature.
tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Posso.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
È come dargli tutti i torti. Hai un posto che puoi chiamare casa?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Non si proprio le azioni di tuo
But
padre.
you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not?
Quindi questo è il figlio del bullo.
Dad always says
Ah,
that
aspetta,
join that gang
Colosso
for my
Joe.
safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
Te tanto stai sempre rinchiuso qua dentro, non lo sai manco. Sai manco che cazzo è questa. Quindi a posto, sta
Goodbye,
bene
young
così.
man. Take care of yourself.
Ok, no, voglio solo vedere una cosa. Su questo. Dove sta ragazzino? Questo. Stanchezza. Basta, sta multimessionale qua, oh. Stanchezza, stanchezza, emicrania, bronchite.
Dreams are soaked with
Ok.
glue.
Allora, io qua se non mi sbaglio, penso di... Esatto, qui c'è stava rifugio, ok. E da sta parte non so chi è questo. Qui sta. Come stiamo messi? Se vado qua... Ah, ok. Quindi la chiesa e tutto quanto. Qui ci siamo stati. Ok. Allora, chi sei? Come al
Don't be
solito,
shy,
mo tocca parlare
handsome. What can
con
Christina
tutti.
do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Cristina Popa. Popa.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Il tipo di lavoro che fa, molti rischi di salute. Perché mi dici della salute dei suoi clienti? No,
Considering
facciamo vedere lei.
your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Ok. Qui niente, che abbiamo fatto? Non te lo domando perché
Goodbye,
tanto devo
miss.
tornare a parlare con
Take
quelli.
care of yourself as best you can.
Ok, quanti so? 2, 4, 6, 7. Allora, procediamo per ordine. Attenzione al prete. Poi c'era un altro sulle scale, se non mi sbaglio. Quei due stanno ancora a parlare. No. Prete.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias
Tobias.
Whittaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Sono smentito di quanto credesse.
What do you mean when you say that I am more...
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Credo solo ai
I
fatti.
am. But the answers I seek are based...
Perché me lo ridà acceso?
What do
Aspettate,
you mean?
facciamo...
Quite a ju...
But you,
Ok,
Well,
anche
I
l'altra.
suppose I can spare a few minutes listening.
as a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Col fuoco. Come pensi esattamente di pulire questa città?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada.
Sì.
Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Attenzione, chi è mo questo?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon, about
Prete,
the
però
strike
parli,
the city.
mazza.
Answers about the hidden truth.
Ok.
Well,
Dai,
I
attenzione.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu,
What do you mean?
the beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh.
E questo è quello che ci ha detto prima. Ho sentito
I have heard
abbastanza. Ok. Però aspetta, Pede, aspetta, che mica ti ho detto
Good evening,
tutto.
Mr. Whittaker.
It's Father Whittaker.
Sì, va bene. E questo ok. Ancora una
Have
famiglia?
you any friends?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Dove ha
Where
mandato?
did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Ecco fatto.
You sent him on some preaching
Altra
crusade
missione
during the epidemic.
secondaria.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Ok. Non te lo domando perché stai fuori di testa, quindi va
I
bene
have
così.
heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Ciao. E qui ce n'era uno? Eccolo qua. Te chi sei?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new
Eccolo.
to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Ok, aspetta, prima ammazzi le cose. Nessun giornale parla
Why are the
dell'epidemia?
newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean
Niente, devo fare
there's
tutto
no
quanto
rational
come al solito,
explanation.
come abbiamo fatto pure in passato. Bisogna dare tutte le opzioni di dialogo per sbloccare
What is the
eventuali
journalist doing in
missioni
this borough
secondarie,
after
indizi e
He
cose
goes
del
where none
genere.
of his colleagues
Quindi
would dare to go to
tocca
inform
perdere
the
tempo.
country.
So you
Ok.
risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Ecco fatto.
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Allora, vediamo se ci ha sbloccato qualcos'altro. Forse qua? No, niente. A posto.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt,
subito.
you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Bene. Che tipo? Ok.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Ok, devo andare a parlare con gli altri tipi, però signori io lo farei il prossimo video. Direi di interrompere qua e parleremo dopo nei prossimi con gli altri, perché se no facciamo un video troppo lungo. Quindi niente, ci fermiamo qui signori e ci vediamo al prossimo video qui con Vampyr, sempre sul canale di Ciafri del Tubo. Ciao!